League playoff matches to see who gets into that NLG League. We've got Team Mischief versus TLC. This game has gone to, or this set has gone to a game 3, and I am excited. So, yeah. How you doing, Zach? How do you like deal with what just happened to you if you're Mischief?
I think you got to target your bans maybe a little bit differently. I do feel like maybe they got outdrafted a little bit, and they just need to get some more solid early game, or something that they prefer to execute early game.
Yeah, I think that maybe also dialing back the game's aggression, it felt like there was that kind of turning point where they went for a gank where they lost four, they killed the Ogre Magi and the Witch Doctor, and they went for a gank and they could have backed out after there. But then maybe a miscommunication, maybe they wanted more from the gank. So unfortunately losing four was not so good. And yeah, but Team Mischief.
Well, yeah, and they may and the dual lanes that they ran didn't work out for them at all. Like the solo offlane Slardar was getting kills.
Yeah, it was really weird. I didn't expect him to. We actually missed, or at least I did, because there were kills happening at the same time a lot last game. I missed the solo kill on the Lich up top because there was a mid kill, and I still don't know how he managed that. Like, Lich must have been harassing him a bit out of position, didn't respect the power of the sprint, but for the first time, Alk is not banned out, and so he becomes the first pick, and they went with Slaughter instead on Team Mischief. I feel like Alk doesn't start with great armor, I know he doesn't have good stats game because of his Grievous Greed.
Yeah, I believe his armor is, God, it's 1 or 0? I'm not actually sure.
It's low. Like, we'll check it out when we get into the game, but a lot of these heroes that have other types of farming tools, they get nerfed on the stat game, and then also, because you have so much gold coming into you, Alk, I think, has lower strength gain than some int heroes. It's, like, really low. But if you're up against it for Team Mischief, I think you just need to pick heroes that can successfully gank the Alchemist. And Windrunner, she's gonna have a interesting time in lane against him. So, how does she match up against him with that acid spray on the ground?
I mean, I think what you want against an Alchemist mid is somebody who can, lane dominate, like deny creeps, push back the Alchemist. So I think the Windrunner should be a really favorable matchup, but we said that, I think, going into that game too, where that the Wind Ranger should have gotten the better of the Ember Spirit, and that just didn't happen.
Yeah, definitely. I think here, though, it's harder, if the Alk is mid, I think it's actually harder for Windrunner, because if you do good acid spray positioning, even with her range, she either has to kind of play in the river, which can be dangerous for oncoming ganks, or she just has to wait for the CS to be pushed to her side, maybe getting some denies.
Yeah, I think I'd look to see Mischief maybe pick up a hero that likes to roam middle. I'm not sure what their favorite hero for that is.
Yeah, and I too am not sure, so.
The Ancient Apparition ban out from TLC, they know that is the counter to Alchemist.
Not only is it a good counter to Alchemist, it's something where I think maybe TLC also wants a Dazzle to go with more minus armor strat, because of course Alk does have some minus armor on that acid spray, and Dazzle would be completely... They kind of counter each other, but I would say overall Dazzle loses out on the AA matchup.
And they really liked running that dual healing strat, so by leaving that out, making sure that Mischief can't pick that up, they could run a similar thing again.
Yeah. So... and oh, I just realized, sorry, I remembered I had to do something on the stream. Let me just quickly check that. So, what do you think TLC? Okay, it is a Dazzle. Yes, I'm so good. Did you know that I guessed that?
I mean, you did say Dazzle, but I thought you said Dazzle for Mischief.
No, oh, sorry, I was thinking for TLC, because it's the minus armor from the acid spray.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup.
Oh my gosh, it's actually good on both teams.
Yeah, no, I think Dazzle really strong pickup here.
No, but you're completely right. I think Mischief is probably... Now, Slaughter handles an Ember well, just because you give the amp damage, and then, of course, Slaughter Ember Spirit can't deal with physical damage, and of course Windrunner's going to put out a lot of that, but imagine if they had the Dazzle on top of that. You'll get down to, once Slaughter has amp damage and Dazzle does have the Weave as well, you get down to like a negative 27 armor.
Yeah, and Mischief taking a lot of time with their first pick in the second round here. I think they did want the Dazzle, but they go Visage.
I am not sure how... So Visage, I think, is a very odd hero in that if you play him at the very highest of levels in competitive, he can have a huge impact, but I'm not seeing quite the synergy here. I mean, he'll maybe be able to keep some extra lockdown for the Ember, ganking the Alk so they can hold him in place as the Chemical Rage wears off. Do you see the synergy?
I don't see it yet. It does. The Visage does let them run like a very aggressive offlane, or just win in pretty much any tri-lane where you end up fighting people.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I mean, with it's either the Alchemist or the Ember is going to be getting farm out of this. So I don't know how that'll work out.
I think I would prefer the Alchemist mid just because he wants to get the bounty rune, every rune.
Oh yeah, definitely. But a safe lane Alchemist I think can work. I mean, just that popular Radiance bots Manta build.
Mm-hmm. So that's certainly going to be something. And now for TLC, up next, they've already got... So here's the problem with Alk, right? He gets a lot of farm, he can get a lot of items. He doesn't exactly hit hard, he kind of just runs at them, and you hit fast with the Chemical Rage, but you're not doing a lot of damage. Probably going to rush a Radiance. Can TLC maybe pick some offlane synergy to help with that?
If they haven't already picked their offlane, I kind of hope that they haven't, but because this Slardar Blink's going to be rough if the Alchemist gets a pretty fast Radiance.
Yeah.
It's going to stop a lot of that chase.
It's probably a utility Slaughter, though, who's going to be going that 4-star first anyway. The last game, the Slaughter only got the Blink first, I think, because his form was so dominant. He lived through a few team fights and suddenly, hey guys. But certainly an interesting case, and, well, gonna be an Ogre Magi again for TLC.
Yeah, this secures more of their early game. Ogre incredibly annoying to deal with in those first early levels, and if the Alchemist has a good time, that's a 10-minute Radiance.
Yeah. And it's a Drow. Okay, we should have seen this coming. Shame on us. I
thought of it, but I didn't mention it. My mistake, because Wind Ranger, Visage, I mean, pretty good synergies here.
Yeah. And I feel like it's something where Drow, while of course not amping up the Slaughter, you just give your team so much. This Windrunner now has a much better time in middle. If it's Ember Spirit in middle, he's like, the lane is it was already lost. It's lost even harder. If it's an Alk in middle, I'm just not sure how it stacks up now.
I don't think it changes a whole lot, but I do like the aura that's gonna let Wind Ranger maybe get even more lane control against the Alchemist.
Yeah.
And it lets them run like a really strong push lineup. I mean, yeah, the Ember will get to be a problem to your push, or solution to your push later on, but I don't know, first 20 minutes, you can do whatever you want with the push.
Yeah, and I was about to say, do you try to pick up a Witch Doctor if you're Mischief, but immediately banned out one of those powerful supports who will just hit even harder. How about for Mischief? Mischief banning out, they're probably worried about another offlane or carry. Can you run Alk maybe in an offlane? You know, you run him against the safe lane farmer and you just put down acid spray? Mean that they can't farm? Is that feasible at all?
I don't think so. I don't like it. Mostly because you're not gonna have room control, especially if they've got like a strong support like a Visage. You're just gonna sit there and probably not get any farm, and then you might as well be a support Alchemist at that point.
Okay. Yeah, and support Alchemist hasn't been a thing for quite a while, right? So he probably doesn't want to fulfill that role. They go with the Broodmother. I like this. It's certainly something that could be a pain, and I don't know what to say to this. I see one upside of Lycan. He can get in close to the Drow, disable that aura with his speed. So can the Ember, actually. That's another maybe bad thing about picking the Drow. You can, of course, Remnant into her face. What else is the Lycan doing here? Please tell me.
So, alright, so Mischief have a great Roshan lineup as well. They've got Slardar and Drow, so the Lycan gives them a chance to steal the Rosh away. But I think... what I guess was surprised, it looks like TLC is going to run a tri-lane against Mischief. Because I don't see the Alchemist, Ember, and Lycan making sense without running an aggro something.
I really wouldn't, if I were TLC, I wouldn't want to run into the Drow Visage lane. We've already talked about it, but I feel like that Drow Precision Aura just gives you too much damage. It's like it having an AA in a tri lane with the Chilling Touch. It's just too strong.
Yeah, but they do need a couple of levels for that to really become a threat. Like, Visage is incredibly squishy for the first couple levels. I mean, yeah, he's got Soul Assumption. They go with a Bane. So this is a great catch for Lycan and Ember.
Yeah, it's certainly, and also the Alk. Even if you don't manage to get the damage off during, even if you Fiend's Grip him while he's Chemical Raged, it's still good, because if you can wait out the Chemical Rage, he goes down so quickly, Alchemist just doesn't have a defense mechanism. So, I like this pickup. And it's something where you can also Nightmare the Dazzle, and then he doesn't get Shallow Graves around. So...
I need to leave you for a couple minutes.
Okay, excellent. I will get in, introduce the team. Zag will be back right quick, team. He has laundry to pick up. He lives in a place where he has to do the laundry with other people. I didn't enjoy that life when I was growing up, so I feel his pain, and let's get into this. Looking at the two lineups,
10 seconds remaining.
I have to say I'm a bit concerned about Mischief, what they're going to be putting out into the world, and... let me just check that everything is right in our settings. I think that Mischief has a really good tri-lane up there. Bane has a lot of holds. You can hold someone in position with the Bane and then just Soul Assumption them. Or Grave Chill them. Like, there's a lot of options. So, I think whoever has to face that off lane gonna have a hard time, and I'm still not super sure of exactly where everyone's going. But let's introduce the players, because they are all loaded in despite this DC. We've got Fun on that Visage. We've got Ulra. Oh, sorry, that's Jubei or Kiko on Bane. IX Mike playing up that offlane Slaughter. Sunbee on the Windrunner. And finally, True Loyalty or Clairvoyance on the Drow Ranger. And on the side of TLC, we've got Me Enchilada Me Ceviche, oh, so Me Enchilada Me on the Ember Spirit that he did so well on before. Me Ceviche on Alchemist, Talonflame on that Dazzle, Doomsday on Ogre Magi, and finally Yogurt, who I think is Ifrit, but probably isn't, on the Lycan. And this is interesting, it means it's an offlane Lycan. I don't know how that works. I was thinking that this could be the case. I think you try to get lost hits with the Wolves and just stay in experience range, but I'm not so sure that that's actually going to work in this game. So, we will see, and time will tell. I hope everybody's freaking out about the picks. Now, taking a look around, yeah, Lycan hasn't picked up anything. We're getting, he just popped out Wolves. He's microing the Wolves, maybe, and I like them. They're cool looking Wolves. Lycan's got something funky going on in his forehead. I'm not a Lycan expert, so I don't know if he always has that. And do I have my Dota sounds muted? I swear I heard the birds chirping. No, I have them on. So, the map is just being very quiet. Drow getting ready to build up that Aquila. And IX Mike, I think a lot of this is going to come down to good rotations. These, oh no, Ogre Magi, what are you doing? That's not your part of town! Can they land a shackle anywhere? There aren't really any trees. He's gonna try to walk it off. He does have a lot of armor, but with no support and the Slithering Crush coming out. One more hit, he's very dead. And you can see Drow Precision Aura. I think normally you'd be able to escape some there, but not against a Drow. So.
The battle begins.
Okay, so getting into it, Misavichimi gets that super big fat. He can buy up a bottle, and he is going bottom. He's got that hand, that funky hand, guys. I don't know if you're into that, but he's got the hand of gold giving. And in this mid lane, so last time Sunbee, of course, did dominate the lane, but then Ember Spirit came back, and we've got Doomsday. Is he here again with boots? Last time Sunsbee ran the wrong way, not making the same mistake. Trying to throw out some harass. Me Enchilada Me hasn't actually shown. And what are these lanes? The Wolves, he's trying to pull the creeps. So what he did here is by delaying the creeps up, pulling them all the way here, he'll get a wave push. Or so he should. And now maybe it won't happen. The Wolves again trying to do some harassment, actually getting a good amount onto that Bane. He might be screwed now because of Bane's positioning. And he was just really hoping his creep wave would come into tower. I still think this might be in favor of the Lycan, and it is. He's going to be able to get level 2. It's going to take him about till the 2-minute mark maybe for them to push back all the way. But he should get an easy level 2. He's going to sick his wolves on those supports. Just give him some little bit of farm. Actually, they're not going to get the kills, so... A nice play.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. I was just discussing, you missed it, but the Lycan did a very successful creep pull, kind of, so that he just wasted the wave's time, and now it's going to push back under his tower at about minute 2. So he should be able to start getting some levels.
Off-lane Lycan?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that would be the plan, just because he can send the wolves out and just kind of ignore the tri-lane. I'm not sure of its strength. And now with them pulling... I've
never seen this.
Yeah, they just pulled the creep wave, so Lycan having a lot of trouble getting up there. He does hit level 2, though. He's really running out of mono. Look at what he's doing with the wolves. He's trying to pull the next wave. Oh, he's not going to catch it, though. He went a little bit too late, and that wolf is just going to go down, probably.
That's still okay, though, because that'll make the lane push for him.
Yeah.
So. Or push for his other people, push towards him.
And did you not close?
Well, they try to go on the Ember in middle, but he just gives them the walk away. Uses chains and just walks south.
Okay, so yeah, Sunbee is... They kill the Radiant Courier.
What just killed that?
How that happened. Maybe Lycan got it?
Sorry, I completely missed it.
Me too.
It died mid lane. It must have been a Windrunner shot that I just didn't catch.
So that's actually pretty devastating. He needed to Bottle Crow for the Ember Spirit. And didn't get it at all. So, Alchemist, gonna be farming up a Storm though. I really, when we have an Alch in the game, prefer to look at net worth. But we'll switch between the two. This Lycan, he's level 2. Hasn't gotten another level since. He might be able to pull level 3 off of leeching these creeps. I don't think so. It's kind of weird. If you have no farm as a Lycan, how on earth do you build this? Like, what's...
I think what he's hoping is that at some point the Ember and the Alchemist are going to deserve more attention than he does. So right now it's great that they can zone him out, but eventually the lane will be free, and then he'll be able to get some split push going.
Will he actually, just with levels, be able to successfully split push?
I mean, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be as nice as if he was a safe lane Lycan, but... It's really the best thing he's got going for him. He can also get
Miancholotomy is going to take a power shot, one more auto attack, and that is her second blood. He tried to use a salve there. He was actually getting fantastic farm. I was about to comment on that. He was 16 to the Windrunner's 18. Yes, she has a million denies, but what do you expect? And then he goes down. So, TLC kind of having the start that they had on... they had a great start last game, and now Mischief is having the great start.
Well, TLC going for a lot of early stacks, other than rotations, so they're just trying to prep this Alchemist to get huge.
I think you have to be a little bit careful with that, just because, okay, Miancholotomy, uphill misses, Sunbee, do they have any sort of follow-up? He is slowed quite a bit, there's a heal coming up, but now there's a Bane, you have a pure damage, and they managed to kill off Sunbee. This is totally worth it. Even the Lycan rotating in, does Bane have anything else? No. And Lycan
is... It was a great bait by Ember there.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a bait, Bane. I think his team rotated
100%. Like, he ran back into the focus fire just to get the chains to lock him down a little bit. He was about maybe 1 or 2 shots from death with that focus fire going.
Yeah. So well played, and they needed that kill. The Windrunner was kicking his ass, to put it lightly. So, how do you feel about your Alchemist skill builds? I've seen a lot of folks max the acid spray in mid just to make sure the opposing mid can't get anything, but it feels like you mentioned they're doing so many stacks, you might want to max that Grievel's Greed.
I think this is fine, because he's had enough help down here that he can afford to be a little greedier than a mid player.
I think so.
Yeah. And Sunbee is not having the luck with the shackle shots that she wants, so... Gonna not catch Ember out again. But her support, so now the Bane is sitting... Okay, Drow is like super far behind the tower. She really wants this Lycan. She's gonna dive him? No. I think it would have been worth it there to dive him.
But she really puts herself. I mean, she dies to tier 2. Someone is rotating, and she would have to get in range of the tower shots.
So, bit unfortunate there, but Alchemist instead going to... Saved up a lot of gold. Do you like the Midas Alch or do you like the Radiance Rush? You know, the 10-minute Radiance? What is your preference?
Well, the popular thing these days is the Radiance Rush, so that's what I expect here.
Yeah. And he should be able to get a couple stacks. So, how many stacks we've got to duel?
Bane dying.
What is going? Goodbye, Bane. Tries to deny himself. Actually does a huge amount of damage to the Ember Spirit. But...
Yeah, that pure damage of Brain Sap goes right through Flame Guard.
Yeah. And now, Alchemist is in a lot of trouble. They can see this. It's a really nicely placed ward by the Bane. They can't quite see the Alch all the time, but they definitely see the acid spray on the ground. So I really like whoever dropped this ward. And, yeah, Alch getting big again. He is...
Radiant's middle tower.
Drow diving Lycan again.
Yeah.
This time 3 levels and Frost Arrows.
She is really hitting like a truck. I don't know what's the best play against her. I mean, she's topping the net worth chart against an Alchemist. Yeah, she's getting kills, but it feels like she's getting every single CS. And if we take a look, yes, she is. She has almost 50 at 7 minutes in. She's doing very well. Now,
Rotation bottom.
Yeah, there's also rotations top, though, so... Looks like bottom, though, that's going to be a dead Alchemist, and they get him with the amp damage, and now they're going onto the Drow, but there's so much backup. Can Visage do anything? Uses the Grave Chill. She's just going to try to TP out, and she might get it. They don't have enough. Where was the the Shadow Wave was on cooldown. Here comes Slaughter. Has the amp damage. IX Mike might be bringing some hurt to them. Trying to look for a multi-slithering crush, and he doesn't have the
Crush.
mana.
He's out of mana.
So he dies under the tower. He may go down here. They already used the Shadow Wave. There's going to be a Shackle onto Lycan. One more auto attack will do it, and suddenly a good turnaround. Somebody had a DD at the very end there, I think.
Nice play by Mike.
Yeah. I thought it was an overextension, but it turned out working out for them. 2 for 5. Almost 5,000 net worth ahead on Mischief because of the outkill, I think. Getting rid of that guy got them a lot of gold. And nerfed his gold.
And he went phase boots because of that death.
Really? How does that help him, we say,
though.
as he gets caught out of position again? Where are the TP rotations? We've got one coming in. The Dazzle will. They're throwing out the Unstable Concoction. Dazzle will have a Shallow Grave. He needs to get over to him, though. Oh, gosh. Where's the Shallow Grave, Dazzle?
Ouch. I think a small pathing error for Dazzle, because it's a level 1 grave, but the range is really small, and he was trying to get just next to the trees, and I think just slightly moved out of the way.
Yeah. Really unfortunate there, and probably some frustration now coming out of TLC. That's the other thing. Your Alch... Can you play an Alch from behind? I don't think so.
It's really rough. I mean, I think you've got to get a lot more space made for you out of this Ember and Lycan. And I don't like this offlane Lycan. He's level 4. He's not making space.
Yeah, he's finally starting to get some space of his own, but as you mentioned, while doing that, they did successfully gank the Alch. It wasn't a case of Alch is causing problems, it's that they've shut him down. So, he needs some kill involvement. We got an engagement here. Ogre Magi Cult may be in a bad spot. Ember Spirit thinking of coming in for him, but he's gonna do no such thing, and this is a very dead Ogre Magi, and maybe a dead Dazzle as well. So, this Drow lineup doing a lot of work. Thankfully, they don't see the stack. But yeah, they can do Roche already on Mischief. And another easy, you know, probably 1,000 gold swing when it comes down to it. So, what do you do here as TLC? You need to try to get back into it. Do you just bet and pray on your Alchemist?
Yeah, I think you sit back and do as many stacks as you can with this Alchemist. Get him some fighting item, probably. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get the Radiance fast enough. He might need to go Solar Crest.
Yeah. So they give it to the Windrunner. I kind of expected it on Drow, but I think Windrunner has more positioning advantage she can take of knowing she has a second life with that Windrun.
Yeah, so with the Windrunner Drow combo, the Windrunner is the real carry. She does the most damage. You know, if they close on the Drow and she dies and loses the aura, it's probably okay because the Windrunner's actually been killing them the whole time.
Definitely. And Alch is back to foaming bottom, but he is nowhere near the relic.
But I think to get into this, they need to get as much split push going as they can. Mischief, you know, they don't really have the solo pickoff hero potential yet. Like the Windrunner isn't blinking around yet.
The Drow is solo killing people though.
Yeah, that probably shouldn't be happening.
And she dominated a creep to be Tornado. Man. Just a bit rude.
But I think this is what you want. You've got 2 heroes mid, 3 top, lets this Alchemist do what he wants.
Yeah.
Is under attack.
Although it looks like they might lose mid tower for it. Power shot, yeah, nothing to do for the tower.
Radiant's middle tower.
While Alk is farming up, he's at 2k at 10 minutes in. Some teams have their Radiance by now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I wonder if they regret not running him middle.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have helped. Oh, Slaughter goes in aggressively onto the back lines. He already has the Blink Dagger. Can the Wolfman get away? One more auto attack. Oh, the Soul Assumption. The Shallow Grave comes out to save his life, and he needs to go home. So they're losing their Fina out of tower. They actually don't glyph it? Oh, they were trying for a deny with the doggies. And Windrunner has caught. Oh, the Bane has the Fiend's Grip onto Dazzle. Perfect utilization of it at this stage in the game. And Mischief not looking stoppable right now.
Yeah, they're just going to keep pushing. I don't... it looks like TLC is not in position to do anything about this, nor are they trying to like push out other lanes.
Yeah, they're certainly not ready yet. Ember Spirit, I think he took a Slitherine Crush. No, looks like Ogre Magi is the one taking all of that damage, and with the amp damage, doesn't matter if you're an Ogre. And they're gonna get top and middle.
Radiant's top tower.
So suddenly TLC only has one lane of outer racks, outer towers left.
And Ember goes for Boots of Travel. I mean, he did this last game, right? And it worked out great.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
don't know what's going to work out this game.
players kind of stick to this build, but as you're seeing, I think it doesn't work when you're so far behind. And also the Alk, like, I guess the Radiance is okay here. It does some wave clear, but can he really afford to go it?
They're just hoping that their high ground defense is strong enough that he's going to be able to get...
They don't have
All of
high
his
ground
kit up.
defense.
Radiant's middle
Right? What are we
No,
talking
pretty
here?
much all
Ignite
they have
acid
is
spray?
Acid Spray and Sleight of Fist.
Yeah. Maybe if your creep wave's there, you can do a shadow word. So now all Mischief needs to do is work on the bottom lane, and we can see the net worth chart, 10,000 gold in favor of Mischief. This is what happens when you lose all of your outer towers.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This offlane Slardar doing work again.
I think it's a very
Worked
good
in game
pickup.
2, working here again.
It had a lot of trouble in game 1, but I think you just need enough space. And I think, as you pointed out, the tri-lane, it didn't seem to block the Slaughter, and then they rotated to stack, and Slaughter was keeping up when the Alk was out of the lane. He was keeping up. Slaughter's gonna pick off Ogre Magi again, gonna try to walk it off, but he'll go down. Takes a Grave Chill, no, not yet. Soul Assumption to pick him off. And it wasn't even super necessary. Drow now going. Oh, she's got the silence out. Me and Me taking too much damage. Oh, he remnants away, saving his life. But now there's no ult on the Lycan. He doesn't have any mana. He has a Medallion and a Bassi. And that's a very dead Yogurt. Alchemist is approaching the Relic. He actually sent the courier there and didn't buy out.
Yeah, maybe he's deciding he needs something else to hold this game together.
He can go full
I'm not
Sandranyasha
sure what else you
soon.
save up 4,000 gold for.
Full Sandranyasha. I don't think the fighting Alk is going to work either, though. Ember Spirit trying to do some work, almost getting a kill on Bane. This will be huge for them, finally getting one kill. Where's the rest of their team? Can they catch the Visage? I don't think they realize where he's gone. And Fun's going to get out. Yeah, that's a 1,000 gold swing. You know, you're starting to make a dent in this 15,000 net... Oh, sorry, 12,000 net worth that they're rocking. And Alk still hasn't bought out, so he's now eclipsed Sandranyasha. Maybe just an Abyssal, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there that cost a lot. Could be straight hot. I don't think it's right here, but they will have a bit more trouble taking him down, but he has no armor. Slaughter blinks over the top of him, gonna find Ogre Magi again. There are a lot of people around, but there's a lot for both teams. There's the Shackle Shot. Do they have anything? They're gonna throw a stun out. I don't know if this is where they want to be for TLC. They don't seem to have much, and there's gonna be a blink crush. Where's the amp damage for the Alchemist? The stuns! He's gonna lose all of that gold he's been saving up. Oh, Slaughter, he needs one more auto attack pretty much, and there's the Soul Assumption. He needs to throw the power shot, killing him off.
So, you know, the worst part about that is the courier is sitting at the secret shop the whole time. Oh, grip on the Lycan.
Yeah, he
Eats
was
the
just,
pure damage.
he was just trying to buy the full relic, and now he's 600
Yeah,
away.
he bought the recipe and then flew it out and then didn't have money anymore.
Yeah.
Has fallen.
I think maybe he didn't know whether the enemies were up in this region when he first flew it out and flew it back. Because the Lycan had just gotten ganked. Maybe you're worried they're around your tower. And this tower, it's going down. There's already an Aghanims on Windrunner, and it's feeling like that first game you didn't get to see, but there was just no way for TLC to defend against a buffed up Shadow Fiend. Multicast not coming out. I mean, it's level 1, and this is a dead tower. They can rotate to more. Ember Spirit does manage to kill off the Bane, but he has to get back here and do something, and he doesn't have Remnants. If he has to come back and fight, he has to play super safe. Lycan's going to try to pop ult, but I don't know if that's going to do anything here, and they've gotten their melee racks, and they're out. Maybe you can kill off Visage, the baby wolves working on him. I think Visage is fine, though. So, the Wolfmen can't even kill off birds.
Yeah, I've got to attribute a lot of this game to not having an offlaner who can do anything.
I think maybe TLC wasn't expecting the lanes that they got. Oh, Windrunner, does she catch him out of position? He doesn't have a remnant up. He's gonna go down. Oh, he actually did have a remnant up. That's even worse. He just got shackled for the entire duration. She does too much damage now. Alk is almost at the Radiance, but again, this is a 17-minute Radiance on an Alchemist, and he's about to be picked off by a Windrunner with a DD. There they go. He didn't manage to get enough gold for the Radiance. He can't sell anything. He's getting Fiends grifted up, and holy cow, she hits so hard. And Ogre Magi is going to fall as well. I hate to say it.
He's in such a dangerous spot for being that close to his item.
He could have just done the creeps here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We're 15,000, over 15,000. We're at 20,000 net worth lead for Mischief. And I think that unless Lycan pulls a rabbit out of his hat that destroys towers, we're seeing Mischief advance through this bracket. Bane's gonna pop a Nightmare onto someone. The Focus Fire going on the tower. IX Mike initiates Mean Gel out of me. Does he have a Remnant up? He does. Excuse me. Oh, but they still kill him! The Drow Ranger! And they have...
not just joining the last little bit of that. And the Dazzle also not realizing it doesn't grave him.
Yeah. I think maybe, I don't know what servers we were on, but this is 2 racks down against an Alchemist who doesn't have any sort of farm. Ogre Magi's gonna fall here. Alk's just trying to farm up the creeps. Desperate for that relic. He actually will have the Radiance now. He can buy out, but they call the GG, and that's it. A very quick game, a back and forth series, but looking like this one a bit one-sided. Mischief take it. They advance to the MLG League. And this was the last spot for the for the Americas bracket for the MLG League. So congrats to Mischief. Do you have some final words on the game?
No, I think just TLC out-greeting themselves. Mischief taking advantage.
Yeah. Well done by Mischief to get into the league, and once again, I'm Llama Down Under. This was a bit of a sleepy cast. I'd still like your feedback on how to get better. I was trying to make it more conversational. And yeah, other than that, going to sign off for now. We will play some music with the score up, but then we will be down and watching MLG with the rest of the cool kids. Thank you again, Zag, for joining me. And let's go.
Thanks for having me.
Always. Let's go to some music.